There's been growing talk about the global electric vehicle revolution faltering. The share of new cars sold which were purely electric fractionally declined in 2023.
What if the cars we've driven for over a century were on the brink of disappearing? A future is unfolding where electric vehicles dominate, gas stations could vanish, and cars themselves might become autonomous. With Ford and GM pushing hard to rival Tesla and new tech-driven companies shaking up the market, the auto industry is facing a transformation like nothing we've seen before. How will this massive shift impact the vehicles we choose, the way we drive, and the future of transportation itself? Let's dive into the groundbreaking changes reshaping the world of automobiles. Ford's quality crisis, an expensive challenge. Ford has long been recognized as an American automotive powerhouse, but recently, its reputation has taken a hit due to recurring quality control issues. Ongoing problems from malfunctioning door latches to programming errors are posing serious risks not only to the company's financial health, but also to its reputation among consumers. These quality issues aren't minor inconveniences. Each one impacts Ford's finances, time, and most importantly, customer trust. One of the primary issues is the high cost of these quality failures. Each time a car is recalled, Ford faces enormous expenses in repair, logistics, and customer service, not to mention potential legal fees. These problems are not isolated cases. They represent a consistent struggle for Ford to maintain the reliability of its vehicles as it pivots towards EVs. The company's ambition to compete with EV giants like Tesla has forced it to ramp up production and innovation at an unprecedented pace, and quality control seems to be one area where Ford is struggling to keep up. The impact on Ford's bottom line is undeniable. As recalls stack up, Ford's profit margins shrink. Fix emphasized that when quality suffers, it affects every aspect of the business. These recalls aren't just one-time costs. They erode the brand's value, harm customer loyalty, and place a burden on future sales. Despite Ford's efforts to reassure its customer base, each recall is a reminder that the company is still adjusting to the complexities of manufacturing EVs at scale. The stakes are high, and Ford is walking a tightrope between innovation and reliability. The costly pursuit of EV profitability. While Ford's quality issues are concerning, the financial implications of its EV strategy are perhaps even more alarming. Ford is investing heavily in electric vehicles, but the return on this investment has yet to materialize. In fact, Ford anticipates a loss of approximately $5 billion in its EV segment for the full year, a sobering figure that underscores the challenges of competing with Tesla and other established players in the electric space. Ford's EV models, like the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning, have struggled to gain traction in a market dominated by Tesla's Model Y and Cybertruck. Fix pointed out that Ford's EV strategy has forced it to make difficult choices, often at the expense of profitability. Ford is losing money on every Mach-E and Lightning it sells, Fix revealed. They're in a difficult position because they need to establish themselves in the EV market, but each vehicle sold adds to their financial strain. The high costs associated with developing and manufacturing EVs, coupled with the steep competition, make profitability a distant goal. Tesla, on the other hand, has a streamlined production process and decades of experience in EV technology, allowing it to produce cars at lower costs and with higher margins. The competition with Tesla doesn't end at pricing. Ford has also tried to lure consumers by offering added benefits, such as free home chargers for EV buyers. While this initiative might improve the overall appeal of Ford's EVs, it does little to address the company's underlying financial struggles. Every time a customer takes advantage of these incentives, Ford's margins take a further hit. Fix emphasized that for Ford to achieve long-term success in the EV market, it must find ways to reduce production costs without sacrificing quality. No easy feat in an industry driven by razor-thin margins. The harsh reality is that Ford's EV division is not yet sustainable. Unless Ford finds a way to make its electric models profitable, it risks falling behind not only Tesla, but also other competitors like Hyundai and Volkswagen, who are rapidly scaling their EV offerings. Ford's struggle to turn a profit in the EV market highlights the broader challenges traditional automakers face as they transition from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric models. The unexpected slowdown in EV demand. While many assumed that EV demand would skyrocket, recent trends suggest that growth is slower than anticipated. Initially, it seemed as though EV adoption would be swift, spurred by a mix of government incentives, environmental awareness, and technological advancements. However, consumers have been hesitant, and demand has not kept pace with production. Fix attributes this to several factors, including the high upfront cost of EVs, the limited charging infrastructure, and the unique insurance costs associated with electric models. Fix explained, the average cost of an EV is around $66,000, while gas-powered cars are roughly $50,000. For many consumers, that price gap is simply too large to ignore, especially when you factor in additional costs like home chargers or higher insurance premiums. While government incentives, such as the $7,500 federal tax credit, help reduce the financial burden, they are often insufficient to close the price gap. Furthermore, these credits are now limited to vehicles manufactured in the US, which excludes many international brands and models. Infrastructure also remains a critical issue. Many consumers are wary of making the switch to electric because they lack convenient access to charging stations. Although public charging options are increasing, they still lag behind the needs of an all-electric future. Fix emphasized that the transition to EVs isn't as simple as just offering more models. It requires significant investments in charging infrastructure, especially in urban areas and along popular travel routes. The slow adoption rate of EVs also raises questions about the industry's readiness to meet future demand. If EV adoption continues to lag, automakers may find themselves with excess inventory, creating financial strain. The industry's rapid expansion into EVs is built on the assumption of steady demand growth, and any slowdown disrupts these projections. Fix warns that the industry must address the practical and economic concerns of consumers if it hopes to achieve the level of EV adoption necessary to sustain the current investment levels. Hybrid vehicles, the bridge to full electrification. In light of these obstacles, hybrid vehicles have emerged as a viable alternative, offering a middle ground between traditional gasoline cars and full electric vehicles. Many consumers view hybrids as a practical solution that combines the benefits of electric driving with the reliability and range of gasoline. Hybrid technology provides consumers with flexibility, allowing them to drive electric for shorter trips and switch to gas for longer distances, a convenience not yet available in most EVs. Automakers like Toyota and Honda have long recognized the potential of hybrids, and their models continue to enjoy strong sales, especially as EV adoption slows. General Motors, however, has taken a different stance, focusing exclusively on either fully electric or gasoline-powered options. Fix argues that this decision might limit GM's appeal, as consumers look for vehicles that offer versatility and convenience. The hybrid market appeals to those who aren't ready for a full EV, she explained. It's a way for consumers to adapt gradually without the range anxiety or infrastructure limitations that come with full EVs. Interestingly, other luxury brands like Volvo and Jaguar are now exploring hybrid technology, acknowledging that consumer demand may favor a gradual transition rather than an abrupt switch to full electric. Ford, meanwhile, has also invested in hybrid models, recognizing the demand for vehicles that provide both environmental benefits and the flexibility of gasoline. For automakers, hybrids present an opportunity to attract customers who might otherwise avoid EVs, allowing companies to build relationships and brand loyalty as consumers become more comfortable with electric options. For many consumers, hybrids represent the ideal balance of sustainability and convenience. Fix believes that hybrids will continue to play a significant role in the market, especially in regions where charging infrastructure is sparse. Automakers that embrace hybrid technology may have an advantage as the industry transitions, offering a product that meets consumers' immediate needs while paving the way for a fully electric future. Affordability in question, the rising cost of EVs. As Ford and other automakers increase their electric vehicle production, a major barrier remains: affordability. Despite the rising interest in sustainable driving, the high cost of EVs continues to deter many potential buyers. The average price of a new EV is around $66,000, significantly higher than the average $50,000 for gasoline-powered vehicles. These high prices put EVs out of reach for many consumers, especially during times of economic uncertainty. High costs restrict the growth that automakers need to sustain the shift toward electric vehicles. The price disparity has led consumers to either wait for more affordable options or consider alternatives such as hybrid vehicles. Automakers, including Ford, recognize that to capture a larger market, they need to produce EVs at a lower cost. However, achieving affordability without sacrificing quality or performance is a complex task that few have mastered. Tesla's announcement of a forthcoming $30,000 model aims to address this gap, but such a model is yet to hit the market. For Ford, the pressure is on to develop a more budget-friendly EV lineup to compete with Tesla's potential low-cost offerings and other market entrants. The high cost of EV production stems largely from expensive battery technology and the materials required, such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel. These materials are not only costly, but also limited in supply, creating additional challenges as automakers scale up production. The increased costs also mean that automakers are pressured to offer incentives to drive EV sales, a practice that can further eat into profit margins. For consumers, the promise of affordable EVs is enticing, but the industry must first overcome these manufacturing and material cost challenges to turn affordability from a goal into a reality. Charging infrastructure, the key to EV adoption. A critical component of the EV industry's growth is charging infrastructure. Many consumers are hesitant to transition to EVs because of range anxiety, a concern exacerbated by limited access to convenient charging stations. Fix points out that while automakers are rapidly rolling out new EV models, the infrastructure to support these vehicles remains underdeveloped. Infrastructure is one of the biggest hurdles to widespread EV adoption, she says. People need to know they can charge their car as easily as they can fill up a gas tank. Tesla once again leads in this area with its extensive supercharger network, which provides rapid and reliable charging options for Tesla owners across the US. In contrast, traditional automakers like Ford and GM are still building out partnerships and networks to compete with Tesla's infrastructure advantage. Ford has begun offering home charging solutions as a way to address convenience for EV owners, but the limitations of public charging remain a significant obstacle. To encourage adoption, governments and private companies are investing in the expansion of charging stations. The US government's recent infrastructure bill allocates billions for EV charging development, with the aim of building a network of accessible stations along major highways and in urban centers. Automakers, too, are partnering with energy providers to develop faster and more efficient charging solutions, but scaling this infrastructure to meet the expected demand will take years. Fix notes that charging stations aren't just about access, but also reliability. People want to know that charging stations are not only nearby, but also functional and fast. Long waits or broken chargers could turn consumers away from EVs entirely. Moreover, the growth of charging infrastructure also needs to account for evolving technology, like faster chargers capable of significantly reducing charging time. For EV adoption to reach the mainstream, infrastructure expansion must keep pace with the production and deployment of electric vehicles. Without a robust and accessible network, Fix warns, consumers will continue to hesitate, impacting the growth projections that automakers have set for the coming years. Interest rates and the affordability crunch. Adding to the financial strain on consumers considering EVs is the recent surge in interest rates. Higher interest rates make car loans more expensive, and for many buyers, this increased cost is a deciding factor in choosing between new EVs, hybrids, and traditional gas-powered cars. As interest rates climb, the total cost of financing an EV can be prohibitive, especially when coupled with the already high price tags. This is driving more consumers to the used car market, where prices are generally more affordable, though EV options are limited. Fix notes that interest rates can be a deal breaker for even the most enthusiastic EV supporters. Interest rates directly impact affordability. When financing costs go up, the appeal of a $60,000 EV diminishes significantly. To counter this, some automakers have begun offering lower financing rates on EV purchases, but these discounts often come with restrictions or are available only on certain models, limiting their appeal. The affordability challenge doesn't just impact consumers, it affects automakers' bottom lines as well. With fewer buyers able to afford new EVs, companies face the possibility of lower than expected sales, which could hamper future investments in EV research and development. Fix believes that if automakers don't address this issue by either lowering vehicle prices or finding innovative financing solutions, the industry could see a slowdown in the projected shift to electric. Automakers are banking on a steady demand for EVs, but if interest rates stay high, that demand could fall short, she explains. The combined impact of high interest rates and elevated EV prices creates a tough environment for both consumers and manufacturers. Policy in the auto industry. In the US, the future of the auto industry, and particularly the EV segment, hinges heavily on political influence and government policies. Tax credits, mandates, and government investments are shaping the industry's direction, often determining which models are affordable or even viable. The Biden administration, for instance, has been a strong proponent of EVs, promoting policies like the $7,500 federal tax credit for EV purchases. This tax incentive has been instrumental in lowering the entry cost of EVs for American consumers, but eligibility restrictions have limited its reach. Now, only EVs assembled in the US qualify, a rule that excludes many international models. These policies have introduced new dynamics into the competitive landscape, as automakers that meet these criteria can offer more attractive price points. However, political uncertainty looms. The upcoming election could lead to significant policy shifts that impact EV incentives. Fix suggests that a potential shift in government leadership could alter the course of the industry. Policies make a huge difference in the viability of EVs. If government support fades, the industry will struggle to maintain its current trajectory. Fix also points to the international stage, where other countries have adopted aggressive EV policies. In Europe, strict emission standards and generous subsidies have boosted EV adoption, putting pressure on American automakers to keep pace. China, the world's largest EV market, is similarly driven by government incentives and regulations that favor electric over traditional vehicles. The global nature of the auto industry means that US policies will not only influence domestic players, but will also shape how American automakers compete internationally. In the US, political tensions regarding EV mandates are high. Some states like California have taken matters into their own hands by proposing ambitious timelines to phase out gasoline-powered vehicles, a move that has spurred debates about feasibility and affordability. The auto industry is essentially at the mercy of shifting political tides, with policies that can make or break a company's ability to thrive in the EV space. For companies like Ford, these policy changes are crucial. Adapting to new regulations while managing profitability and quality control is a delicate balance that could determine their survival in the coming decades. Legacy automakers versus Tesla. Tesla has been at the forefront of electric vehicle innovation, pioneering advancements in battery technology, autonomous driving capabilities, and direct-to-consumer sales. For years, legacy automakers like Ford, GM, and Volkswagen have been racing to catch up, yet Tesla continues to set the pace with each new model. Lauren Fix notes that Tesla's ability to innovate quickly has created a significant gap. Tesla has achieved what many traditional automakers are still striving for: a deep-rooted reputation in the EV market, streamlined production, and a loyal customer base. For legacy automakers, the challenge lies in building the technological foundation that Tesla has established over a decade. This includes not only the development of competitive battery technology and autonomous driving software, but also the adaptation to a different sales model. Tesla's direct-to-consumer approach, for example, has minimized dealership overheads, giving it more control over pricing and consumer experience. Meanwhile, traditional car companies, tied to dealer networks, face resistance as they attempt to alter long-standing distribution models. Despite these challenges, Ford and GM are investing heavily in research and partnerships to accelerate their technological progress. Ford, in particular, has partnered with tech companies to enhance its EV capabilities, including developing its own proprietary software for autonomous driving and battery management. GM, on the other hand, has unveiled its Ultium battery platform, designed to power a broad range of future EVs, from sedans to heavy-duty trucks. Fix points out that these investments are critical if traditional automakers hope to compete with Tesla's dominance, but cautions that it will take time before these efforts translate into market gains. The technology race is not just about innovation, it's about cost efficiency. Tesla's early investments have enabled it to produce EVs at a lower cost, a distinct advantage in a market where affordability remains a barrier. Legacy automakers face the dual challenge of matching Tesla's technological prowess while also reducing production costs to create competitive pricing for consumers. The road ahead for Ford and GM is challenging, and while they are making progress, Tesla's head start remains a formidable obstacle. Consumer perception and brand loyalty. Another critical factor in the auto industry's EV shift is consumer perception. Tesla has not only established itself as an EV pioneer, but has also cultivated a brand identity associated with cutting-edge technology, sustainability, and prestige. This brand loyalty has given Tesla an advantage that goes beyond technology or price. It's about consumer trust and perceived value. For many consumers, Tesla is synonymous with EVs, making it harder for traditional automakers to shift shift perceptions and attract loyal customers to their electric offerings. Fix notes that traditional brands like Ford and GM are trying to reposition themselves in the consumer mindset. Ford, for example, has introduced models like the Mustang Mach-E, which taps into its classic muscle car heritage while also embracing a modern electric future. Fix explains, "It's a smart way to bridge the gap between legacy identity and EV innovation. The Mustang Mach-E combines Ford's brand heritage with forward-looking EV technology, appealing to both traditional car enthusiasts and new EV adopters." However, consumer perception challenges persist, especially as traditional automakers navigate the quality and reliability concerns surrounding their new EVs. Tesla's long track record with EV-specific technology gives it a trust advantage, while newcomers like Ford and GM still need to prove the reliability of their electric models. According to Fix, building consumer trust in EVs is a multi-layered process. Legacy automakers can't just rely on their past reputations. They need to demonstrate that their EVs are reliable, efficient, and worth the investment. In response to these challenges, some automakers are taking an unconventional approach by launching luxury EVs to build brand prestige and shift consumer perception. For instance, GM's Cadillac Lyriq is a high-end electric SUV aimed at luxury consumers who may be less price-sensitive and more focused on innovation and comfort. This tactic allows automakers to test the EV market among premium buyers before scaling down to more affordable models. In the long term, traditional automakers hope to use these initial offerings to establish credibility in the EV space, helping to attract a broader range of consumers. The role of autonomous driving in the EV market. The integration of autonomous driving technology is quickly becoming a focal point in the auto industry's race toward innovation. Tesla has set a high bar with its autopilot system and full self-driving (FSD) capability, pushing other automakers to invest in autonomous technology to remain competitive. Ford and GM have responded by developing their own systems, Ford's Blue Cruise and GM's Super Cruise, which provide semi-autonomous driving experiences that enhance safety and convenience on the road. Fix notes that autonomous technology is a critical component of future EV success. The demand for autonomous features is growing, especially as consumers seek more convenience and safety in their vehicles. It's no longer just about electric, it's about smart electric cars that anticipate driver needs. However, achieving full autonomy is a complex and costly endeavor. Companies face significant regulatory, technological, and safety hurdles, as autonomous driving systems must undergo rigorous testing to meet legal standards. Tesla's FSD, for example, has faced both praise and scrutiny, with some questioning its safety and reliability. This regulatory uncertainty has forced automakers like Ford and GM to take a more cautious approach, focusing on semi-autonomous features that enhance driver safety without fully removing the need for human intervention. While full autonomy remains an industry-wide goal, automakers understand that regulatory approvals could take years, if not decades, to achieve. In the meantime, they are focusing on developing advanced driver assistance systems, ADAS, that enhance the driving experience and improve vehicle safety. The race to perfect autonomous driving technology also influences consumer choice, as many buyers now consider these features essential in their purchase decisions. Fix highlights that as the technology becomes more accessible, the demand for these autonomous capabilities will likely rise. We're moving toward an era where smart vehicles will define the auto industry, with self-driving capabilities being one of the most desired features. Automakers who excel in this area will have a competitive edge. For Ford and GM, the challenge is to develop autonomous features that rival Tesla's offerings while adhering to stricter safety and regulatory standards. Success in this area could help them differentiate their brands and attract consumers eager for the latest technology. The strategic path forward. Recognizing the high costs and technical demands of EV production, many automakers are turning to partnerships as a way to advance their electric and autonomous vehicle programs. Partnerships with technology companies, battery suppliers, and infrastructure providers have become essential for automakers to accelerate their EV efforts while mitigating costs. For example, Ford has partnered with companies like Google and SK Innovation to enhance its technological and battery production capabilities, while GM's alliances include collaborations with Honda and LG Chem for similar goals. These partnerships allow traditional automakers to access specialized expertise, particularly in areas like software development, battery technology, and infrastructure expansion. Fix highlights that partnerships are crucial for legacy automakers aiming to compete with Tesla's advanced capabilities. Automakers can't do it all alone, especially when entering a field where they're not the primary experts, she says. Tech companies, battery manufacturers, and infrastructure providers bring valuable resources and knowledge to the table. For example, Ford's collaboration with Google has opened new opportunities in data analytics, helping Ford leverage cloud computing to improve vehicle performance and customer experience. Similarly, GM's joint venture with LG Chem has enabled it to develop the Ultium battery, which it hopes will set a new standard in battery performance and efficiency. By joining forces with companies that specialize in technology, legacy automakers can focus on their core strengths while rapidly developing the components they need to compete in the EV and autonomous vehicle markets. These alliances are also essential in addressing one of the industry's biggest challenges, the creation of a nationwide charging network. Companies are pooling resources and forming partnerships to build public charging infrastructure, with the hope that this will encourage more consumers to transition to EVs. Fix emphasizes that such collaboration is critical for the success of the EV market. Without reliable charging networks, EVs simply won't reach their potential. Automakers must work together with energy companies and governments to establish a robust infrastructure. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the auto industry's evolution. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay updated on the latest in automotive technology and industry news. We're just getting started, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.